stop getting married to the rep range. If you're trying to make progress, and this is a little different for powerlifting and strength athletes, and Jace, I'm curious to see your thoughts and opinions on this, is if, let's say you assign your clients, 3 sets of 10 for a squat, right? And, they hit the 10th rep and they're like, all right, that's 10. They drop, they rack the bar and that's it. Very rarely will general population clients especially know what it means to train 1 to 2 reps short of failure. Very rarely do Gen Pop clients, even advanced athletes too, let's be real, know what it means to train close to failure and with proper intensity. So instead of getting married to the rep range, it's really important that when you're getting videos from your athletes to be training to that intent. If you had more in the tank, why did you leave it in the tank? You got to push more, right? You got to hit that proper intensity. And then for your following set, add more weight if your rep range was assigned as a 10, right? That's one of the new strategies that I started applying with my clients. And it's like clockwork, starting to see them train harder and harder and harder because they stop getting so tied to the number of reps that they are supposed to hit and overanalyzing, should I go up by 5 pounds? Should I go up by 10? If you have more in the tank, empty the damn tank and hit those extra reps so that your next set you can gauge how much weight you should be putting. Thoughts, Jason? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I think that's a very good question too. So I think there's a bit of a transition that's going to go on as well, away from maybe like reps in reserve personally. Because I think when you look at it, especially in the hypertrophy realms, which is in essence, most of our clients over a period of time, we want to get them, we obviously transition in and out of phases. You got a fat loss phase, you got a hypertrophy block. So clients are all going to go through these phases anyway, right? My thing is I think that most people are getting married to numbers, which I think is good to give a set level of structure, but most people are getting too concerned about the numbers and getting away from what actually matters in progression and results. And that is obviously driving as much mechanical tension, recruiting the most amount of motor units, stimulating those motor units, fatiguing those motor units, applying adequate recovery, and then we've got a good result in terms of hypertrophy. Yeah. So as coaches, we want to look at all the components that really do drive good hypertrophy results. And in essence, if we're focusing on all of those, then in essence, we know that we're going to have a good result over at the end of a particular time period. For me, in terms of sticking to reps in reserve, I feel like what most people do is they always leave money on the table, and they do this in every aspect of their life. It's like opportunities in business, opportunities to extract hypertrophy results from training programs. Like this is stuff that is going to be present every day. And for me, it's like you want to be getting your clients when they're in the gym, they're spending the time training for 45 minutes, like 45 to 60 minutes anyway. It's like you want them to get the most out of those sessions. Now, if you give them a rep and reserve target, that can be a beneficial tool to get someone that's, I guess, in their initial phases going, okay, well, this is what we're going to do to quantify your level of working intensity, which I think is important. So it's like, you did 4 sets of 8 reps, but you probably could have only done 2 reps with perfect execution. Then you know that they're working to some level of decent intensity with their loading. And I think that can be important for, I guess, initial like clients that are coming through like on your books as like initial clients and really understand your methods and how you coach. But then I think you need to transfer away from reps in reserve. And I think it needs to become more about when we're training and we're executing these exercises and we're executing these sets and we're executing these reps, we're executing them with exceptional technique, but we're working them to failure till we can't do it anymore. Right. Yeah. If there is a massive breakdown in execution, depending on the exercise as well, if it's a more complex exercise like a deadlift, a barbell squat, an RDL, we know that the general breakdown in those execution and those exercises are going to be probably more loading in like lower back, these kinds of things as well under heavy loads. The risk versus reward ratio on those is probably not going to be the best. So you might want to work your A series if you're doing these big compound, more complex movements. You may want to work those to a reps in reserve target to ensure that the focus group of muscles that they're working along with the execution and the speed of the movement or tempo of the movement is executed well. And that is done for every set and every rep without compromising that technique. when you get exercises like a seated leg extension, it's pretty hard to screw that up. So for me, it's like, why would you not focus on working that to absolute failure? Even if that exceeds your reps in reserve target, it's like your goal is to get and extract the most out of your muscles in that session. So you may as well push that exercise hard. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
So
And that's
it's just understanding like which variable to push at which time to ensure that your clients are training safely and they're making good progress.